All right, guys. Well, here we are. Finally, I'm in a place where I can sit down and just do a goddamn video, right? Last couple days, I've really tried to. I did do one yesterday. I actually started a good story that I couldn't really do in one video. It was a psychedelic one for the $10 tier. I don't know why out of all stories, I felt like that was the one to return. But I guess I thought of that story. Karina and I were talking about that time we'd taken acid together, and it was just a horrible experience. And she's like, "Have you ever?" All right, I'm gonna try not to do so much stuff from my personal life. But she'd asked me if I'd ever had other bad experiences on psychedelics, and I told her about this one time where I took acid at the Pasadena Rose Bowl with my friend who was a neurosurgeon, and I was with my other buddy Kyle, who is just this kind of preppy guy, but he's a total scumbag. That was an interesting trip. That was a bad trip, and I started that video, and I don't even know how well I did. I mean, I've just been so preoccupied in my mind with other shit. Nothing to do with all the drama and stuff that's gone on Patreon and beyond, and it's like at the end of the day, I honestly don't care that much about it. I care that I pissed off long-term supporters. There's certain people that turned on me, or I'm surprised, and I guess not surprised. It's fuck. I mean, how much you can't just keep fucking up and then expecting certain people to be okay with it. There has to be a point where I don't blame anyone else, and I'm wait a second, maybe I shouldn't be doing drugs. Maybe that's why. Maybe I shouldn't be doing erratic, weird shit. But when people that have been with me for a long time and turn on me, I guess it just hurts my feelings. Before I'm I should write it. I should write the sketch before I do it. We'll just say, I'm a sensitive artist type, and Karina's oh, so you should tell them you're a bitch. I'm yeah, I'm a bitch. Sorry. I don't know. I am sensitive, whatever. I mean, it sucks when people have really been in your corner for a long time and then they turn on you for and it's also kind of difficult to battle mental health and drug addiction shit publicly. It's embarrassing. There's shame associated with it. And then there's a certain thing where people think you're lying about things, and it's I'm not lying. I just can't tell the truth about them. And I think certain people appreciate that weird paradox there. It's people are wait a second, I don't even know what he means by that. Let's Urban Dictionary this fucking sentence this dude just said. It sounds urban as fuck. There's gonna be people like that. But it's there's certain things I can't just come right out and say. I'm on heroin right now. Touch me, I'm not even real anymore. There's no soul. It's just heroin. I can't say stuff like that. But I'm generally pretty one of those people that'll admit it, right? There's some people that lie about addiction, and they'll never be honest. No matter what, they'll never come clean. I'm not one of those people. Eventually, I do come clean about everything, pretty much. That's just how I am. And I've kind of created this weird thing where I can't do that. Now. I mean, you can tell, I'm definitely not on drugs anymore. I mean, I slicked my hair I'm I'm some convicted sex offender from the 1960s. Should have those shirts that people that, I don't know, feel they should have Star Wars action figures in a duffel bag. Yeah, let's play with this shit. I don't know, in a beach setting. You go to the beach? All right. No, I don't got a car or nothing, but yeah, let's play. Fuck it. So I don't know what I was thinking with the hair. That's another. I hadn't slept for 2 days. I was I'm gonna slick my hair back, and I'm gonna look like Hannibal Lecter, and people are gonna like me again. So, and sorry, I like promised myself I wouldn't go on to some personal monologue, and I won't, but I think there's a couple positive things now that I've gotten my bitch shit out of the way, because I do bitch a lot. Bitch shit's out of the way, and I will say this. A little more bitch shit. Somebody made a really interesting point, and they're like, I think your ex-wife's behind a lot of, the hate campaign, and yes, she's a fucking sociopath, and probably, like, thinking about it, yes, you're probably watching this. With anybody that I've dated, except for you, I look at the positives and appreciate the fact that I get to share my life with somebody, because it's not all bad usually, except for you. You're a fucking psycho bitch, and I did nothing wrong. It was all you. No, a very complicated situation, because I don't know. I did things that weren't right, but this is the thing. I'm speaking directly to you if you're watching this, which you probably are. It makes sense. Like, the fact that maybe I've considered that before, but it's a really good point. So, like, I was talking to someone about that, and they were like, well, what do you think? Do you think she would? Of course she would. I know her well. She would definitely, I'm sure she watches every single video. Fucking weirdo. I just want to say that I'm sorry about certain things. I am. I should have never jumped into any sort of relationship in the state that I was in. I was addicted to drugs, and I didn't have, like, bad intentions. I never do. That doesn't make up or negate the fact that I was a completely out of control drug addict while we were together. But the things that really, like, upset me about our relationship, I got abusing me. I never abused you at all. Never hit you. Never even shook you. Fuck, I was petrified of catching a case. Like, wore latex. She's like, have sex. I'm like, yeah, hold on. I, like, put latex gloves on. I'm like, fuck. Hope I don't get fingerprints on my wife. Paid $9.99 to Google. How does shit automatically come out of my PayPal? What the fuck, man? I hated how you, like, made it seem like I'm some fucking physically abusive person. Emotionally, yes, and yes, that's not cool and not nice, but I was never physically abusive. Ever. And I think that that's, like, one of the things that I'm most bitter about, honestly. And I was joking before where I said, like, I wouldn't say I hate you, but, typically it's, typically when it's situations like this where you know somebody for a week and you're, like, a fan, and it turns out you're a total psychopath, and so is the guy, and so am I. It's usually like, it's two good people that, made some bad decisions. No, I don't necessarily know if you were ever a good person. I don't know if I was either, though. So I think it was two bad people that did bad things. I just want to say, God, like, get over it. Fuck. I'm sorry. I'm sure you're mad that, you've been memorialized as a prostitute that sucks dudes' dicks for Tylenol 3s. I wouldn't like that either when that comes out someday on, like, a Reddit thread. I heard you actually suck dick for T3s too. What does it mean? I'm sorry that you feel hurt. Sorry that your kid had to be around our toxicity and, like, our addiction, and, like, that's gross to me. And if I can ever make it up to him, not to you, I don't give a fuck about you, but to him, I will. Because he did call me dad at one point, and, like, just looking back at that really hurts me. Makes me feel guilty, I guess. I don't know. Whatever soul I have left. There's something. I'm like, it's like, something's like, it's like, psst, this is bad. I'm like, human thought, get out of here. Who cares? Sex, drugs. But I'm sorry, and I do wish you the best. And if you're leading some weird campaign against me, it's like, I guess I deserve it. So, what a pointless part of this monologue. Say these two, I don't know, I had to fucking rant. And that's why it's like, should I do a separate monologue? And then people get all like, I might just release this as its own monologue. So that way people that don't want to hear it don't have to. And you know what? I'll release it on the $10 tier. There's no more doing monologues on the $3 tier. That's what I'll do, because I just feel like talking and I don't feel like going right into a story. I need time to warm up. And I meant the things that I said. Like, I am remorseful. I really do think that she watches it, and I'm just sorry that shit got so fucked up, to the point where we hate each other like that. Do I want to make up? No, I don't, ever in life. Don't ever want to see you again. But for what it's worth, I am sorry. And you can continue to fucking do whatever you're doing that makes you feel better about that hatred. But I'm sorry. Okay. Well, so now that I've completely sounded like a psychopath, let me also say this. I talked to two people today. They're like my real friends. First one is our buddy Sinister, because remember, the whole plan was that I'm going to rent some space in his office. He's dealing with his own, I don't know. He's got his own fucking things right now. Nothing like mine. Totally different kinds of issues. But he's a good guy. We talked this morning for 3 hours straight. And we formed a plan. We're going to start doing positive stuff. And he's not a drug addict like me. And but he is supportive. And he's like, I will do anything I can to help you get back. To just being the person, because he's like, I miss you as a friend. Fuck, you just, you do steroids and fucking hang out with rock stars that were famous 45 years ago and they're not anymore. I'm like, well, they're, they could come out with some sort of solo project and people would care. He's like, no, bro. I'm like, okay. He's a real friend, and when I get back, I'm moving out of this this house. I don't know, people are just gotten so creepy. We're just getting the fuck out of here, and we're totally changing our phone numbers and emails and house, and we don't want anyone to know shit. We're gonna get more private and more secretive about where we live. And another person I talked to is Seth Ferrante, who just has always he's just such an ambitious guy, and Sinister and Seth are two people that care about me greatly. You can just tell, when I talk to them, there's nothing but love. Those guys, Seth can be harsh and scary, and sometimes I seriously am Trina's like, who are you talking to? I'm like, oh, not some dude that if I don't talk down right now, he's gonna come fucking over here and stab me. Just some other guy, not him. Oh yeah, hey Seth. No, you're right. Yeah, I'm making mistakes. Okay, cool. All right, love you too, bro. Who is that? It was Seth. And did he threaten to stab you again? It's getting really old, Ryan. It's getting old. No, he cares about me, and he holds me accountable, and he is mad because he's like, you have potential. It's it's frustrating when you see somebody throw potential away, and it's been, I get it. Those two guys, Seth and Sinister, have really, really, really helped me realize that I have people that care about me. I mean, I have other people that I know do, but those two in particular kind of struck chords with me today. And I just want you to know I am doing better. I mean, look at the haircut. Does it look? Do you think the hairdo makes me look like I'm doing better? I mean, yeah, kinda. You should just go record and see what happens. I feel like I feel like I am in a better, positive headspace. All sorts of crazy shit happen that I hope enough time passes that it's appropriate to tell the stories, because I know you'll appreciate some of the things that have happened. And some of them are horrible, whatever, but there's some pretty funny, fucked up situations that have happened too, that you guys know nothing about. Thank you for letting me vent. I'm going to end this now, and I'm going to put this on the $10 tier, but I'm going to go and I'm going to do a story video first, so that way people are like, oh my god, another monologue? Fuck this fool. I'll do a story video first. Palabra.